What up, guys, and welcome back to the Millionaire Architect Podcast. My name is Matt Ganzak. Today, we are talking about the 10 things to master in digital marketing. You're listening to a guy right now that has spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in digital marketing. Let's go ahead and say just on Facebook alone, and millions of dollars in AdWords. Probably at this point in time, I've probably spent over $1 million in Facebook. Definitely millions and millions and millions of dollars in AdWords. And some things that I've learned in terms of social media marketing, it's not necessarily all about the numbers now and about how massive amount of money that you spend. It's how you connect with that audience. Say, you are able to spend an inordinate amount of money through Google and through Facebook and connect with billions of people around the world. But it's how you do the whole package. It's your retargeting. It's, after somebody sees an opportunity, what do you do after that? So we're talking about the 10 things you have to do very well and master these things in order to advertise. And let me tell you something, I'm going to go ahead and give you some insight. Number 10 is running ads. So 1 through 9 have to be done and mastered before you do number 10. So be sure to listen to these top 10 things because this is going to blow you guys away. Okay, first, the number one thing that you have to do, the number one thing that you have to understand in terms of your advertising, you have to know your customer. You have to master your customer. You have to know everything about this person, what they like, what they dislike, what they like in advertising, what they dislike in advertising, their deep down, fears, what's getting them to engage, what's getting them to take action, what's getting them to connect with your competition and with other brands and with, other products. And, when I say competition, if you are putting videos out there, you are competing with, say, the NFL. Yes, if you are putting out content into the world, you are competing with the NFL and with Netflix and with all of these other things. That is your competition. What are these people watching? What are they engaging with? Are they watching the NFL? Are they watching football every Sunday and every Saturday? Are they watching Netflix marathons? How are these people spending their time? You have to know everything about your customer. In order to target your customer, in order to get them to take action in digital advertising, you have to know your customer. Now, I can go to events. Like a couple weeks ago, I went to an event, and I can speak to 300 people. And I had, out of 300 people, I had 200, well, it was technically not 300 people in the room when I was speaking. It was about 200 plus. And I had 134 of those 200 people take action and sign up for my offer. That's a massive, massive amount of people. Because when you're in person, you can do things that you can't do in digital marketing. When you're in person, you can do things that you can't do in advertising, right? So what you have to do is understand that customer even better when you're not in person. When you're in person, maybe one thing works. When you're not face-to-face in person, even, just speaking on stage to a group of people, they're not going to take action at the same amount because there are distractions that are going on. At that point in time, I had 200 people in the audience, and I knew I had their attention. I got their attention by saying, hey, I'm going to offer something, and if you leave, you're not going to get it. So you know what happened? Nobody left. Not a single person left. Actually, people came into the room. I think people were texting saying like, hey, you got to get in here. Like, you ran out to grab a coffee, but you got to get back in here because you can't miss this, right? So people actually came into the room. Nobody left. In digital marketing, it's a completely different ballgame because kids can run into the room, or, there are distractions from friends, or, the football game is on, or Netflix is on, or their favorite TV show is coming on, or something else pops up in Facebook, or their friend sends them a text message, or something happens. You don't have their full undivided attention. You have probably 5% of their attention, maybe 10 at the most. Right? Not 10% of people. You have 10% of even the people that are giving you their attention. You have only 10% of their attention. So it's a much different ballgame. You have to be on top of your game. If I'm in person with somebody, I can say things. I can say, hey, let's get started. And maybe that's it. Maybe that's all I have to say to get somebody to want to take action. Online and digital marketing in social media marketing, I have to do a lot more than just say, hey, come and get started. I have to give you an incredible, unbelievable offer to get your attention. That's what you have to do. So you have to know your audience down to better than they know themselves. You have to know your audience. Number 2, know your competition. I was mentioning a little bit about that. You're competing with the NFL. If your customer is watching the NFL, if they're watching television, if they're watching Netflix, whatever they are doing, whatever has their attention besides what you're trying to do, you're competing with that. If you're selling a course online, if you're providing, some sort of presentation, whatever it is that you're doing online, and you're trying to get that person to take an action, you're competing with all the distractions in life. How are you going to get above that distraction? Because people need to believe. People absolutely need to believe what it is that you're providing. Getting a little ahead of myself, that's going to be number 3. However, you have to know your competition. You have to know what is taking your audience's interest and their attention away from what it is that you're doing. In the end, your audience, your prospective customer, the person who you are talking to every single day, which we'll get to that, the person who you're talking to is being advertised to thousands of times per day, whether they know it or not. They are seeing hundreds, if not thousands of advertisements every single day. How many ads do you take action on? And, an ad isn't necessarily like somebody paying Facebook, but anyone that posts anything to social media. How many things are you signing up to a day? How many things? I signed up to something this morning. I'm getting on a call with an expert that's really good in one area, and he's going to show me how to do things tomorrow. But what are you doing? What are you clicking? What are you signing up to? Are you signing up to anything? Are you signing up to anything? I know there are days I go that I sign up to nothing. You know what? I'm advertised to hundreds of times and I sign up to nothing. So you have to understand that is your audience. That is who you're talking to. People like me. I spend millions of dollars on things, cameras and, just these lights behind me were like $800. Like I spend money on things. I bought those off of a Facebook ad. All I did was I saw it and I saw their presentation and I was like, that's really cool. I went and got my credit card and, I just put my credit card in and bought those. And a couple days later they showed up. I put them in the background and I kind of dig the lights. I like the lights. Listen, I'll buy things, but there are days that I go that I'm advertised to 100 times and I don't take any action. So what are you doing to stand above your competition? What are you doing to target your right customer? Again, number 1 is your customer. Number 2 is your competition. Next, number 3, what is your offer? You need to master that. You absolutely have to master your offer. So 1, you master who your customer is and everything about them. 2, you master who your competition is. And 3, you master your offer. So what is an offer? An offer is connecting those 3 pieces together. It's connecting the customer and understanding who the competition is, and then providing this offer to them, whether it's the lights or this computer that I bought or this microphone or any of these things around that I was advertised. These people advertised to me and gave me an amazing offer, whether it was a discount or some clearance sale or whatever it was. Whatever it was to incentivize and entice me to take an action, those people got me to take an action because they explained to me the value, they showed me what it is that I wanted, and they provided that thing to me. So whether it's coaching, whether it's software, whether it's hardware, whatever it is, those people are offering me a solution and showing me this, showing me how amazing it is, and communicating that to me very well, and I take action. So how are you doing that? In order to master your digital advertising, you have to master these top 3 things. Number 4, master a content marketing strategy. And that includes blogging, podcasting, whatever it is, you have to master it and you have to be the best at it. It could just be posting to Facebook. It could be Twitter. It could be Instagram. You have to decide, again, where is your customer? That's, again, number one. Who is your customer? Where are they hanging out? And how can you communicate with them? And how can you constantly stay top of mind with them with a content marketing strategy? I see folks online that are saying content marketing is nonsense. I see folks online saying blogging is nonsense. I see folks online saying podcasting is nonsense. I see folks online saying a lot of crazy things. And you know what they're doing? They're trying to get your attention. You know why they're trying to get your attention? Because they've identified you as a customer. You as a digital marketer, you as somebody that owns a company, and you are frustrated with your blog because you're getting no traffic, right? So what they're doing is saying the competition is saying start a blog. So you started a blog. So now they're out there advertising, and their offer is, hey, you don't need to have a blog. Click here. Let me show you how I did $1 million without having a blog. That's fantastic. They identified their customer. They identify the competition. They create an offer, understanding their customer, and then they provide that strategy to them. So what do I say? What is my recommendation? You have to do what your customer is asking for. You have to find how to connect with your customer. If your customer does not require you to have a blog, if you can connect with your customer without having one, don't have a blog. If you can connect with your customer without having a podcast, don't have a podcast. If you can connect with your customer without posting to Facebook, don't post to Facebook. If you can connect with your customer without having an Instagram page, don't have an Instagram page. That's what I'm telling you right now. However, you have to test these things to find what your customer is responsive to. My business, I am building an entire company based upon press demand, which is an amazing place where you can get press, and we're connecting to podcasters. We got Forbes on board. We have Entrepreneur on board. We have several contributors to massive networks on board for press demand. So as a business owner, you're going to be able to go to pressdemand.com. You're going to be able to pitch to Forbes and Entrepreneur and all these places you never thought your article would ever be. And we're giving you that opportunity to pitch and post to these networks. We built an amazing network, right? So therefore, my best customer, they're podcasters. They're on podcasts. What's the best way for me to get interviewed on podcasts? To have a podcast. Why am I doing a podcast? Because how can you do something and how can you make something great for other people if you're not physically doing it yourself? Therefore, I have a podcast. Exactly. I know my customer. I know my competition. I know what I have to do. This is my content marketing strategy to help those people. I mean, I practice what I preach, case in point, right there. And, from other standpoints, we have My Credits, which this podcast is brought to you by My Credits, right? So amazing platform, amazing thing that we're doing there. I am going to start paying every single one of you to consume my content. So what am I doing? I'm creating video content at the exact same time I'm creating the podcast. So you can go and watch my videos on YouTube, consume any content that I make, and I will pay you for your time to consume my content. So, therefore, I need to create a case study. So what I'm doing is I'm creating all of these videos. I'm putting all these videos online on my YouTube. They're getting very little activity right now, and I'm going to prove to you that when I do this one step and this one thing, and I start incentivizing with My Credits for people to watch my video content views are going to explode. And I'm going to spend less money in retargeting, and I'm going to make more money on the back end by having people consume my content. That's it, guys. You have to practice what you preach. Yeah, absolutely. So, what is my game plan? Content marketing strategy that I am doing right now because I understand my customer. My customer are people that are out there putting videos on YouTube and on Facebook. They're having to spend money to retarget their audience in order to get them to engage with their content. My customer is people that are out there wanting to get their press, wanting to get their voice heard, wanting to get their product to market, trying to figure out how to get on Entrepreneur, and trying to figure out how to get into Forbes and all these other awesome podcasts and blogs and all this awesome stuff. We're going to add TV and radio coming up soon regionally. That's going to be fantastic. wanting to get your message out there and wanting to connect with the decision makers that can publish your content. That's press demand. Anyone that wants that, I am providing that, right? So I'm connecting with my customer. And then we have a variety of other products and other things that we have, whether they're supplements or other businesses that I own. So just think about that. Think about understanding your customer so deep, understanding every single thing that this person wants, like understanding everything they're posting into groups, understanding like their entire life and providing solutions to help those people. That's what I'm dedicated to doing because I understand my customers so much. I've been studying them since 2008 when I saw Brendon Burchard for the first time and I said, oh my God, I have to help these people. Because Brendon Burchard said at one of his events, he got up there on stage and said, if you can't figure out how to put a membership site online, go hire somebody to do it. And I said, boom, I am making an entire company, an entire business off of that one sentence that man said. If you can't find somebody to do it, if you can't figure out how to get a website and can't figure out how to get your membership online, go find somebody to do it. He said that in 2008. And I've built an entire business off of 10 years of trying to figure out how to help these customers. So for the last 10 years, I've been trying to help these customers, right? I know my customer. And for the last 10 years, I've been trying to understand that customer. It probably wasn't 2008 that he said that. It was probably a little bit later in time. But I've been consuming content from other coaches, Jim Rohn, some other Jack Canfield and some other coaches, but I've been trying to understand coaches and it finally clicked in my head when I heard Brendon say it. So now that I think about it, it's probably 2010 that I heard Brendon say that, maybe 2011. But since 2008, I've been trying to understand the coaching business, right? I've been trying to understand my customer. And that's the key. You have to know your customer. You can't sell to your customer if you don't know your customer, inside and out. Next, number 5, an easy way to connect daily. You have to have an easy way to connect daily to your customer. And what I mean by that is, listen, email marketing, it's where it's not dead, but email marketing is not getting engaged with. My highest click-through rate on campaigns are welcome campaigns that people opt into, and it's still only a 60 to 80% open rate. Then from there, we have a 30 to 40% click-through rate. That's it. That is it. I don't focus on emails any longer. If you focus solely on email marketing for your business is going to struggle. Because if it costs you however much money to acquire that customer, whether it's $1 or $100, I mean, we have customers that we acquire for over $100 in some businesses, right? So if it costs you that much money to acquire this customer, you shouldn't have them not engaged in emails. I mean, I could pull up my emails right now. I have 4,000 unread emails because I just can't keep up with them. That's what your customer is doing right now. Again, back to number 1, understand your customer. Are they overwhelmed with the emails? Then don't email market to them. If your customer is overwhelmed with emails, don't send them emails. I mean, you still can, but don't rely on emails for your business to succeed. That's why we use services like ManyChat. That's why we use chatbots. That's why we use Facebook groups. So if you're adding them onto your Facebook business page, for example, and your business page is not getting seen organically, don't add them to your Facebook business page. Add them onto places where they will see your content. Facebook groups are fantastic. If you can build a Facebook group, if you can get people interested, get people to take action, Facebook groups are fantastic. Find ways to connect with your audience daily where they can consume some sort of content where you stay top of mind and they understand that this is quality, valuable content. And I'm not talking about sell. I'm talking about value. How many times can you say value fast, right? That's what you have to provide for your customer. If you're not doing that right now, you absolutely have to figure out how to do that. Because number 6 is creating a culture. And you cannot create a culture inside of your business without having a daily communication method, having a way to create a community. That's why Facebook groups are so powerful. You're able to create this community. You're able to create the thing. Like we have Facebook groups that are out there running with, tens of thousands of people on them, and the customers are selling new customers for us. How would you like for your customers to bring in new customers for you? Your customers create customers. Guys, you should write that down. If you guys are driving or anything like that while listening to this, please don't write it down. But just remember that. If you're going to take anything from this and you're not taking notes, be sure to come back and take notes, by the way. I'm giving you a multi-million-dollar business plan right now. Your customers need to create customers. That's how you build a culture. You build a culture inside of your business, inside of a community. The community is the most important part of your business, as well as a daily communication method, which was the one before this. Number 6, create a culture. Number 7, create that referral network. Create a referral network, whether it's affiliate marketing, that would be the official name for it. If you have affiliates, your top tier affiliates, your top customers are able to resell your product, that's fantastic. Or it could just be a referral network, a way for other people to bring you business. Go out and build those relationships, because in your business, those relationships are more important than single individual customers, because those relationships will bring you tons of customers. Not that the customer is not important, but you need to have sources of traffic. You need to have sources of content. You need to have sources of, these people that are bringing you customers. So what I like to do is I like to connect with other people who are going to hit the share button on my content, hit the share button on my posts, and I build those relationships with those people who are going to bring me more customers. And then we figure out some sort of compensation, some sort of share in that opportunity. How do you do that? Well, there are all sorts of ways to build a referral network. You can have different lists in, say, your Facebook Messenger, right? So you could have ManyChat, you could have one list that are your affiliates. You could have one list that are, your top customers. You could have one list that are prospective customers, and you can send them messages differently. Because wouldn't you agree that somebody that's never done business with you should receive a message a little bit differently than somebody that's been doing business with you for years? So segment that audience, speak to them, and have a segmented referral network that will build your future business. So that could be a different Facebook group. That could be whatever. You have to build your referral network. Notice I have not said anything about funnels, and I have not said anything about ads. I want you to take note. Number 8, set up a good warm-up funnel. So this is the first time. You have to do 1 through 7 before you do number 8. And that's one of the biggest problems that I face as a consultant when I have a potential customer come in and say, "Hey, Matt, I want you to build me a funnel." And I say, "Hey, you have nothing. You don't understand your customer. You don't understand your competition. You don't have a good offer. You don't have a content marketing strategy. You don't have an easy way to connect daily. You don't have a culture. You don't have a referral network. You have nothing. I am not building you a funnel if you have not done steps 1 through 7. I refuse. I refuse to do business with you. If you do not have something going on, if you don't have some sort of activity out there, I can't help you, because a funnel is not going to save you. A funnel can't save your business. A funnel can't save anything about your business. Funnels and ads can't save your business. And unfortunately, that's where most people get to. Most people get 30, 40, 50, maybe more, $1,000 in debt, $100,000 in debt. And then they come to me and say, "Matt, I'm $100,000 in debt, and I really have no customers. I have no pipeline. I have no sales coming in. I have no culture." And they don't say this to me, but I don't understand my customer. I don't understand my competition. My offer sucks. Those top 3 things, they don't know that it's actually a problem. I'm not content marketing, and that comes in the form of I have a blog, but I don't use it. I know there are so many other consultants nodding their head right now being like, "Yes, thank goodness somebody's finally saying it," right? So they don't have a culture. They don't have a referral network. They don't have any of those things. No, I'm not going to build you a funnel, because most people get to that point where they say, "I am completely down. I need a miracle." It's Matt is the millionaire architect. Matt is not the miracle worker. I am not a miracle worker. I cannot take your $100,000 in debt and turn it into $1 million business. I take $1 million businesses, I turn them into $10 million businesses. Why? Because I help them just do those things better. I don't get them to do the things. I help them to do the things they do better. So whatever you're doing now, you need to hire somebody or hire a consultant or hire somebody to help you to do those things better. Not push everything on everyone else and just say, hey, work a miracle for me. That's not what we're here for. So I'm kind of venting, but let's get back to set up a good warm-up funnel. What does a warm-up funnel mean? A warm-up funnel is introducing cold traffic in audiences that have no idea what you do, introducing them to what it is that you do. And it's so very important to introduce people to what it is that you're doing, but you have to understand who your customer is, who your competition is, and what your offer is first. Because you have to put that in there. Because as people are going through this warm-up funnel, they're not face-to-face with you, right? They're not face-to-face. They're seeing videos online. They're going through content online. You have to emotionally connect with them, and that's what warms them up. So you have to figure out how to do that. And that's step 8, and you can't do that until you know your customer, know your competition, and know what your offer can be. Number 9 is have a killer presentation. So after you warm these people up, after you know everything about the person, after you warm them up through a funnel, have a killer presentation. And what is a killer presentation? It's something that holds their attention from start to finish. Gets them to the point that they reset their mind to the point that they want to buy your product. Reset their mind to the point that they're like, I absolutely need this. I was talking to a guy yesterday, and he's doing door-to-door sales. So we talked about rebuilding his sales process from end to end. And he's like, oh my goodness, you just flipped the psychology of the sale upside down with that presentation. So it doesn't necessarily just have to be an online presentation. It could be an offline presentation as well. And it starts with the setup. It starts with the hero story, which you tell your story of the hero. And then it goes from there to explain the product, reframe, hey, what if you thought what you think you thought is not that way? And what if this would actually be less expensive to do this than that? Like, wow, I was in the market to buy that. Now I'm in the market to buy what you're selling. Let's go ahead and do it. What if I told you that on this presentation today, if you take action right now, you can get that at 50% off? Would you be willing to take that? Boom. Yes, I'll take it. Right? So it's all about the presentation. So once you have a killer warm-up strategy, then you can have a killer presentation. And number 10 is advertising. Because once you master 1 through 9, number 10 becomes super simple. Because you can trip and fall over sales. Once you figure out 1 through 9, advertising is the easiest thing in your business. So I'm quite active in the ClickFunnels community as well as other communities in the Facebook group, arena, and so forth. And I will say one of the number one things that I see inside that community is I can't get Facebook ads to work for my business. The number one thing that I hear as people reach out to me is, Matt, I need help with my Facebook ads. Facebook ads are the easiest thing on the entire planet if you know 1 through 9. Your business should not have problems with Facebook ads. Your business should not have problems with Google ads. Your business should not have problems with your advertising. Your problem is not the ads. Your problem is number 1 through 9. You don't have those pieces put together. Because once you do, the ads become simple. Advertising is simple. Advertising is just taking something that's working and giving a megaphone to go out there and find more people that are like your best customer. If you know your numbers, if you know you can build with predictable results. If you don't know your numbers, if you don't know 1 through 9, you cannot build a business. You cannot grow a business. You cannot go from 6 figures to 7 figures without knowing 1 through 9. And number 10 becomes super simple. I guarantee you will be able to run your own advertising if you can do 1 through 9 effectively. That's it, guys. That's all I have for you today. The 10 things in order to master your digital marketing. But I should have named this a complete 8-figure marketing plan because this is a complete 8-figure marketing plan. But the question is, how do you do those things? How do you dig in and do each one of those things? Guys, connect with me. Tell me what it is as part of 1 through 10 that you are struggling with. Send me a Facebook message, send me an Instagram message, send me a message on YouTube. Doesn't matter how you connect with me, find me and connect with me. Connect through my page, whatever. Tell me what you're struggling with, and I will dedicate an entire session to that. So guys, let me know. I want to connect with you guys. Have an amazing day, and thank you so much for listening to the Millionaire Architect Podcast. See you next time.
You are listening to the Millionaire Architect Podcast with Matt Ganzak, brought to you by MyCredits. MyCredits. Reward your loyal customers for watching your videos and engaging with your business. Your customers will love you for it.